And we are live. No chill live. 107. We back.
We are back again. I'm ready to go. There's a lot to talk about. It's lit. It's lit.
Hell yes. We got new equipment.
We do have new equipment.
One thing I will say, I do miss playing music like to get started, But I know we can't play too much. They got the copyright shit.
I know they're gonna come after us. They're gonna come after us. But listen, we got a ton to talk about. I feel like we've had a month worth of news over the last 7 days.
I know, man. We're here every Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe, No Chill Live. Make sure you like, comment. We got our boy Troy in the comments, our producer.
That's
we
right.
on the mics. We want to
That's
hear from
right.
you guys. So, make sure you share with your friends. We're gonna get it popping tonight.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good shit. We're on all platforms. If you can name it, we're on it.
Yeah, for real. Twitch, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. God damn, man. It's insane.
Just so good. Just so good.
Yo, it was a long week.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you had a good weekend, man. It's getting warmer outside. It's April. It's still Aries season, but, things are heating up.
Yeah, what'd you do this weekend? I kind of just chilled out. I didn't do too much. How about you?
Me, shit, what did I do? Okay, I went down, visited the family.
Good.
Watched a little bit of basketball with them. I was focused on watching the Knick game. But Jenna, she was the one who was like, yo, why aren't we watching the women's national championship in college basketball? And
That's right.
Like, that's on. I was just like, let's turn it on. Fuck it. So luckily we turned it on. I think it was the fourth quarter, which I didn't know women had quarters in college.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know until this year too.
Yeah. I thought they had halves like the men, but I turned it on in the fourth quarter. LSU was already kind of pulling away. They were on fire, unstoppable.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Were you able to catch a game? And what did you like? Did you do anything else during the weekend? I don't want to skip over.
So honestly, on Saturday, I didn't do too much. I did not get a chance to catch the game. Actually, I saw the highlights, and I was looking at Twitter and stuff like that. But I was really just listening to some of the Dreamville stuff. Okay. I saw a few different people perform. Ari was on. Dirk was on. I honestly, Dirk, he killed it. And then of course Usher, who he's on that list I talked about last week.
Which list?
The list of men that you do not want to take your girl around. And this man is 48, 49 years old, and he's still out there
slaying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, Sunday was beautiful out in the Jersey, New York City area. So I was outside, went for a nice hike. I've been trying to, get in some sort of physical activity every single day. Nice. I'm feeling really good about it, just in terms of mental, emotional, physical state and stuff like that. Getting ready for summer. Yeah. It's going to be a hot boy summer, so I gotta be right out here.
Stay ready.
Gotta be right. But with the games, the game was good until LSU started beating them down. I had to throw on my Lakers and LSU colors today. Representing. We got our purple on. Purple and yellow.
Hell yeah, man.
But
we did not plan this, guys. We did not plan the match.
But. We didn't. But great minds. But there was a lot of how would you characterize it? A lot of
racial tension.
Yeah.
A lot of racial tension. This is America. We can't watch anything without choosing a side. Everything is so binary here.
Yeah.
And you had Iowa. All white girls had the best player in the nation, Clarke.
They did.
Young lady. I wasn't aware of her until the game. So I realized how much I just am detached from the sports media and shit, because I didn't even know she existed. But she had a great game. But it wasn't good enough to get the W. And Angel Reese, she let her know. She let her know. Angel Reese on LSU.
She did.
She was all glammed out with the lashes, looking like a champion. Their coach was all glammed out, all sparkly, had the sparkly suit.
Impressive.
You can't wear a suit like that and lose. they had a lot of pressure on them, and they also wanted to shut down all the noise, about Caitlin Clarke, who's been, all over the media and a big reason why people tuned in to the game to begin with.
I mean, she's been all over the media. First, before we even dive into really the nitty gritty of the details of this, I want to give a special shout out to LSU for winning. Angel Reese she is, I think, the only woman to ever have a double-double in every single tournament game. Like, she's clearly she's a baller in her own right. She's been through quite a journey through college. She's transferred. I think this is her first year at LSU or something like that, after being at Maryland before that. So I'm just really happy that they won. But, Caitlin Clarke, the reason that this game, I think it had almost 10 million viewers, like one of the highest viewed sports matchups in the last few years.
People don't even watch TV like that anymore.
Exactly. Like, it's crazy. Like, think about all the events that we've had: Oscars, Grammys, NBA Finals, Wimbledon, like all these different sporting events, and it beat all of them.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, this is the future of women's basketball right now that we're watching.
Yeah.
And people liked Caitlin Clarke because she was up in bitches' faces. Like, you're down 15, shut up. She was over there saying, like, letting people shoot from the 3-point line. Like, if she was deep in the paint, and she was like, nah, let her shoot. She ain't gonna make it.
I love it. I love the shit talk.
I like that swagger. Everyone loved that swagger. But then suddenly, when it's a different skin color, face, eyelashes, nails, swagger, everything's a little bit different. Then suddenly, you want to call Angel Reese a piece of shit. Oof. You want to call her a complete idiot. Fuck you guys.
Who said that?
Dave Pontneroy, the Barstool guy, who sold the company off. Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann, you only people know you because you were on ESPN. That's how we learned who you were. But now suddenly, let me backtrack. I didn't follow the games. I haven't been keeping up. I'm not aware. I don't watch any basketball, let alone. But he couldn't just say sorry.
Of course not. If you don't know, if you're uninformed as a journalist, just shut up. Just don't tweet.
It's sick, man.
But you're right. Like, it was a much different reaction when they took the L.
Yeah.
And it was a big talking point all week. Caitlin Clarke came out herself and said, I don't feel like Angel Reese should be criticized. Like, we all kind of talk shit. We weren't the only two people doing it. And to me, it's like, when I watch this shit, it's sports. There's a lot of shit talking. These people are competitors. That's why we love it. And also, these are college students. People should not be this critical on college students. They're not professional athletes. I know you like to go ham on the heckling of professionals, shouting out their salaries, but that's a part of their gig.
That's right.
They have to talk to the media. They have to deal with the fans. I mean, obviously, there's a limit to that too.
Yeah.
But to have the media go out and, call this young lady out of her name, I think is really
she's
messed
20 years old and y'all are attacking her after she just won the biggest game of her career. And at the same time, as somebody like Dave Pontneroy, who created this monster sports platform in Barstool Sports, which has grown from just being like memes and like random cartoon videos and all this stuff to podcasts attached to them and all this other stuff, you would think that you want women's sports to grow. You would think that you could realize that there's a lot of money involved in this. But because of what the face looks like, that's the problem for you. Like, it's nasty. The double standard between not only men and women, but black and white, it comes out in the craziest ways.
Yeah, it is crazy. But, I wonder what JJ Redick has to say about this, because he was adamant that the sports media had no racial bias, and how dare you bring that up. But then we see an instance like this, when you see a white athlete and a black athlete do virtually the same thing and get treated totally different by, a lot of people in this country. But I feel like a lot of people are on Angel Reese's side. She's going to get a lot of support, and they're both going to still be in college, because you have to play all 4 years before you are eligible to be in the WNBA, which is also bullshit. But hey, I feel like this is a great storyline. I feel like both of them handled it very well after the fact.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just hate the narrative of not only, the white media loves to promote white athletes dominating in black sports. They didn't come up with the term "the Great White Hope" out of nowhere. That was a real thing. Came from boxing back in the day. They were like, "Oh, we need to find someone to beat Joe Louis."
Mm-hmm.
And now look, it's 2023. We're having the same conversation. So they get really hype on this. They build these people up, and they can't handle the laws. So I love it, I love it. You can't see me. Shout out to Tony Yayo. But yeah, people try to play both sides of this shit. Jill Biden said, I want to invite both teams to the White House, man. I never heard no bullshit like that in my life. Angel Reese, she retweeted that and said, "This is a joke."
That was one of the best tweets I've seen. Like literally just a joke in all caps with laughing emojis. Like Angel Reese she's been on a crazy run. Even after the championship, like Red Bull gives you wings, she is flying. Like she's got different podcasts that she's been on. She's been doing everything, and I'm really happy for her. Jill Biden. Shut the fuck up. Oof. Like I'm sorry. Listen,
she is an old lady.
I don't care. I know Joe got in her ass after that. Like he was mad. Yeah, no, that's not a pause. That's his wife, or maybe Kamala's husband did it. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened, Jill. Listen, just stop being stupid.
Oof.
Stop overthinking things. Keep it simple. You know who won the game. You know who deserves the respect. They beat the shit out of Iowa over 15 points. Like, listen, stop it.
Both teams. That's some bullshit. I ain't never heard no shit like that.
Never. Never.
Yeah, that's embarrassing to be. Since when are we inviting losers? That's like, have you watched Love is Blind or not?
So I did start Love is Blind. Unfortunately, that's what I was watching on Sunday when Drake and Cole, which we'll talk about later, when they were on stage and stuff. Love is Blind is entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting concept. But the really funny part to me was that even as they're all going through this same experience, talking to multiple people, getting narrowed down to like a couple, then having to narrow down to one, people getting their hearts broken early on, haven't even seen this person. You got the women on one side starting their catty shit, like laughing at each other, like as this people are breaking down,
crying.
And then the men are just like, we got to lift each other up. Like we all here for the same thing. We could do this. Like it's just.
Yeah, Women's Month is over. It's over, guys.
It is. It is.
I'm sorry.
And we're going to keep it real, okay? We love you, but your shit stinks too.
Oof.
It stinks too.
Yeah,
all right?
But yeah, man, that just reminded me because Love is Blind. I'm like, how are you going to invite the losers? Like, how are you going to invite the losers back after people are able to see each other? I don't think that's right, but that shit is hella entertaining. I know I'm going to watch the final episodes with my family on Easter this Sunday. So shout out to you guys. I'm excited. I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know.
We'll see how this develops. I mean, listen, like I said, I view both of them as the future stars of like WNBA once they get to the league.
Yeah. Larry Bird and Magic.
Yeah, they balled out through the tournament. I'm excited to see next year. I'm sure the numbers are going to be up now. I think this is great for the game.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. And it's a shame that America can't watch a college sports event without making it all racial. But hey, it is what it is. Also, shout out to UConn Huskies and the men. They got the job done too.
That's
East
right.
Coast.
That's right. Her Angel Reese's cousin is on the UConn squad. I don't know his name because honestly, the women's game it overshadowed the men's game. Nobody cared. Plus, it was a blowout. So, congrats to them.
Yeah, congrats. That shit was nuts. I think I'm gonna tune in to more women's games. Back in the day, I used to go to more women's basketball games because the women's team was better at Rutgers. And this whole story kind of reminded me of in the early 2000s when Don Imus called the Rutgers women's basketball team a bunch of nappy headed hoes, and he had to apologize. He got taken off the air. So American media figures have a history of discriminating against black women and black people. And this is pretty much the same type of thing, like 20 years later. So we don't forget.
We don't.
I don't forget Don Imus, R.I.P. But you a piece of shit.
Yeah. And lift up black women. That's all I can really say. Go LSU Tigers. Go Angel Reese. Go that whole squad.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a terrible week for white women because Donald Trump. He finally came and got, what is it? He got arraigned.
Speaking of Love is Blind.
They put 34 federal charges on Donald Trump. No mug shot. Which is unfortunate. I think we were all looking forward to
that's what we wanted out of this. Like, that's what AI created. Like, it created the hype for a mugshot, and then they burned us. We didn't get it.
Do you think the mugshot would have just made him more powerful type of thing? I mean, outside of this whole thing, which may make him more powerful, the mugshot itself, you think he would have just used that for promo?
It might, but I mean, he looked miserable sitting behind that desk with his lawyers lined up. He had 2 police officers there. CNN was so weird when I was listening to the coverage. They're like, this is probably the farthest that a Secret Service officer has been away from former President Trump ever. Like,
what? Who is in their ear saying that shit,
I do not know, but their coverage was so it was so awkward. But you could tell they were all really happy, but at the same time, you've got random people that are sad. Like, it's just
I know Van Jones was sad, man.
Van Jones is miserable. Van Jones is miserable.
Oh man, come on. If Jeff Bezos gave that man $100 million. He don't have a care in the world, but he still capes. Like, what's up with your boy, man?
I'm surprised he's still working. Like, if I got $100 million from Bezos, like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm putting in my 2 weeks and I'm leaving the day after I give you my 2 weeks. Like, you're never gonna see the next 8 business days out of me. Like, there's no way. So I don't know. Maybe he just likes being on the air.
I got the clip of Van Jones.
Okay, let's hear it.
He looks sad. Yeah, he looks sad. He looks like the weight of it's hitting him, and just as a human being, like I don't take joy. I don't like the prison system. I don't like what it does to people. I don't like this process. So I don't take any celebration in seeing him looking that way. He looks sad now. Doesn't mean that accountability is not owed. We don't know what he's going to be charged with.
We don't know.
Oh my God! Did he say accountability is not owed?
Yes.
Yo, Van Jones,
I don't
get
know.
off his dick. Like, just stop it, bro. Like, listen, this is the same Van Jones that cried when Trump did something that was remotely presidential. Like,
man, we got pictures of Van Jones, hanging out with Trump and his kids and shit. But at the same time, I think everyone's treating this a little bit too crazy, both sides,
Of course.
It has turned into a political thing, but they're saying that they could have a trial by next spring of 2024. Trump is running for office for the election in November of 24. Is this something we're going to have to deal with the whole fucking time?
You already know, man. Our system is so fucked up and slow. Like, they're in no hurry to do this. And if it's really politically motivated, they're going to take their time. They're going to wait. They're going to, try to time it so that it has the most impact on the voters and the numbers and things like that and projections. Like, it's just, I mean, listen, he's charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. This is a felony in New York where there is an intent to defraud that includes an intent to commit another crime or to aid or conceal a crime. In this case, prosecutors will have to prove that Trump is guilty of maintaining false business records with the intent to hide the $100,000 payment in the days before the election that he sent to Stormy Daniels. So, this is weak. Like
Yeah.
that's my opinion on it. It's just weak.
Yeah, it is a little weak. I don't know. I don't think he gets arrested on this shit. I don't think he does any time. I think it's all a show. It's going to cost a lot of money. But hey, we're going to talk about it every week. But I will say one person who's really benefiting from this is Stormy Daniels, the woman who he paid off to have sex with, I mean, to shut her mouth after he had an affair with her.
Yeah.
He paid her, what, $130,000. And they were saying he wanted to push that until he won the election so he wouldn't have to pay her. Trump is notorious for not paying people who works for him.
That's true.
But hey, this was a real, expensive affair he had. I'm sure it was the most money she's probably ever seen. But now her porn searches have gone way, way up, bro.
Skyrocketed. What is it? On March 30th, they were around like 34,000 searches. And then literally in a day, it skyrocketed to over 600,000 searches.
Damn, man. That's. I wonder if she's seeing any money from that. I really
She's
do.
gotta be seeing money from that. I would have to assume. Like, I don't know what kind of contracts porn artists have, but
with Pornhub, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, you would assume that they have some sort of royalties based on like how many people are watching their videos or something like that. Either she's getting the bag from that, or she's getting the bag because there's nasty MAGA people that want to get with her. Because
you think it's those people? You don't think it's the horny Democrats who act like she's a hero, who act like Stormy Daniels? She saved our nation. Like, that's crazy. Stormy Daniels didn't save shit, yo.
No,
Honestly.
I'm saying from the private escorting that she's probably doing.
Oh, you think she's still on that?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a little bit older now.
She's older, but she's still got to make money.
Yeah, but that's
It's not like they got a retirement fund. They don't have a 401k. Like,
yeah, but escorts are like boxers. Once you get like in your 30s, it just gets sad once you get a little bit older. You ain't got it like you used to. But she does have a lot of clout now, so maybe she'll be able to cash in on this. I don't think she's a hero. I think she was just doing
what she does best. Doing what she's been doing for years now. I mean, listen, I think this whole thing is just I can't believe that we're still talking about the fact that he had sex with this woman in 2016 or something.
It was 2006. It came out in 2016.
Oh yeah, excuse me. 2006. And then it came out in 2016 before the election. That's crazy.
Yeah, but could you imagine if Obama did some shit like this? Like, I mean, honestly, I love saying that about anything Trump does because it's just like they are so opposite.
I know.
Like, could you imagine if Obama was in some shit like this, man?
There's no way. Listen, we just saw what happened to Angel Reese for going like this. Oh my God! Like,
yo, when she was doing this, yo, I thought of you and how you were like, yo, if I get you an engagement ring, you better wear that shit. Now, it's gonna be you now.
I had a couple people hit me up and they were like, yo, bro, after the first like year or two, you really don't care. You really don't. And I was like, in hindsight, listening to myself, I did sound a little crazy, but it's too fresh right now. I'm looking at the numbers. That's what it is.
I feel you, bro. Yeah. When we posted that clip of you, the comments were like, "Oh shit, this is Andrew Plate," and they called you. They're like, "We got Andrew Tate at home."
Yeah.
But your evil twin.
Now they literally do have him at home.
Your evil twin, Andrew Tate. He got released from prison or jail in Romania, and now he's on house arrest. He has not been formally charged. For what was it, like kidnapping and rape were the pending charges.
Sex trafficking, kidnapping, rape, all that nastiness.
Yeah, like he said this was a political thing the same way Trump did. Do you think that is true? Do you think that this is a sign that, now that he has been formally charged, do you think he'll just become more powerful and maybe they don't have enough evidence to convict him of these crimes? Like, and also like, how are you feeling since so many people are saying y'all look alike now that he's free?
I'll answer the latter part first. No. I look like a lot of people. I don't look like a pedophile.
What? No one's saying that.
And I don't look like a kidnapper. I don't look like Andrew Tate. All right. If you want to say I look like anybody, Swizz Beatz, Ludacris, French Montana, I'll take those guys. Okay. Pause. I'll be doppelgangers for them, but other than that, no, not Andrew Tate. Man, listen, on this guy's website, he said that he brought women into the adult entertainment industry, and then he wrote, quote, "My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'll do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together." No. No. To me, that sounds like a scam. That sounds like sex trafficking. Now, if they don't have the evidence and they just put him in jail, I don't know, Romania, it's a crazy country. Like, this is Eastern Europe we're talking about. But if he's putting that on his website and that's the kind of stuff that he's like bragging about doing and growing his riches after being a 4-time kickboxing champion.
Allegedly. No one has proof of those championships at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So I listen.
Listen, I mean, it just sounds like he's just being a modern day Hugh Hefner or a pimp, e-pimp. I don't know. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but whether or not he's committing crimes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know he said a lot of shit that has pissed people off. I haven't really followed him closely, but I did. I will go on record as the first person to say, "Y'all look alike." I feel like I opened up the floodgates.
No, what opened up the floodgates was I went to Texas and I got it 3 times in the span of an hour from random drunk people telling me that I looked like. Yeah, thanks. That I look like Andrew Tate, and I was like, "Wow, this is clearly a red state."
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. He's not a bad-looking guy. I mean, he's not someone you want to be associated with, but he's not a bad-looking guy.
No, of course.
But he does say some shit I wouldn't want to, want my name attached to. But I wonder if he is going to get like more popular from this because he's had his supporters. Like they're like, "Oh, Top G is free." Like. People are really excited.
There were a lot of people like posting about it on their stories and things like that and tweeting and things like that. So we'll see. All I know is that Greta Thunberg, she got some pull because the second she started beefing with him, that's when he got locked up in December.
Word. He was in like solitary for months, he said. So
yeah.
That's really like torture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy, but he did brag about moving to Romania because they were more lenient about like sex crimes. He said that on record on a podcast.
That's what I'm
hard
saying.
I
like,
would never defend
snitching on himself. Like
I would never defend him, but I don't know enough, outside of the way he looks and just seeing those clips and the comments. The comments. nochilllive. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, follow us. We everywhere.
That's right. That's right. We are.
And we are not Andrew Tate. He's not a part of this.
No,
platform.
we don't do that. We support women. We love women. We do not sex traffic women. It's all consent over here. Like all that positive love and light shit. All right.
Yes, 100%. 100%. But yeah, like they call Andrew Tate Top G, but I think the real Top G is Gwyneth Paltrow, yo. She's a gangster, yo. Because she just dismantled this guy in this ski lawsuit, bro. We talked about it last week, and you were saying how she just totally got everyone on her side.
She did. She completely dominated him. She had his lawyer talking to Gwyneth Paltrow about her height and saying, "Oh, yeah, unfortunately, I'm only 5'1". Like, I have to wear 5-inch heels just to look 5'5", 5'6". And Gwyneth Paltrow's like, "Yeah, sorry, girl, I'm 5'10". Like, that's while she was on the stand. Yeah. Like, it wasn't going to go well for him. She's a beautiful actress. She is a pretty good actress as well. I don't think she's bad. Mm-hmm. And, she won this case.
Yeah, she won $1 and legal fees, which might cost over like $1 million for this guy who was looking for the come up now.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't even get all his kids to testify for him. But they said he'll never be the same. And now he's probably going to be in debt.
Probably, because I'm sure her lawyer was not cheap.
No, but yeah, man, she is a gangster because after she was awarded the $1, she went over to him and said, "I wish you well."
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, man. That's
tapped him on the shoulder too, the bad shoulder.
I did this to you.
The shoulder that got hurt.
Remember me? and the skis. Now pay me my legal fees.
Oh,
Bam.
bars.
Too easy. Too easy. Shout out to Top G, Gwyneth Paltrow. Before this, before a verdict was reached, everybody was outspoken of their opinions, and we actually got an opinion from our boy OJ Simpson, who was familiar, with skiing on these slopes in the past. Man, like, what makes OJ? Does OJ just feel like he has to speak on every court case that exists?
He's very experienced. I want to hear a little bit about what he has to say, but he's had plenty of experience. He's gotten off with some crazy things. So, it kind of is what it is at this point. We got to expect to hear from our
Deer
local
Valley
commentator.
got some pretty narrow runs. And I was thinking about my experience at Deer Valley. Deer Valley is classy. It's a beautiful place. I never went back, mainly because I didn't like the runs. I thought they were real narrow, certainly far narrower than most of the places that I went skiing. But accidents happen skiing. I don't know how you could try to sue anybody for crashes on a ski slope. You see it all the time. I remember the first weekend that I went skiing. I spent the first day at Buttermilk in Aspen. I was with the Kardashians, Chris and Bob, and Nicole and I. So first morning I spent at Buttermilk learning to ski. By the end of the day, I had made it to the top of the hill. The next day, we went to Snowmass. I'll be honest, I don't know if Bob...
That's enough. That's enough of you, OJ.
Yeah, man. OJ says, accidents happen. I feel like he said that before, but he was just like, come on, you can't sue someone for, hitting someone on the ski slopes, and OJ Simpson, he's an expert on these legal things.
Hey, I mean, I get it. I've run into somebody once when I went skiing. I mean, granted, I've only been skiing like 3 or 4 times, but still, I hit somebody once, and it wasn't even that bad, but it can hurt depending on where you hit somebody. Like if you hit them on a steep part of the slope, you both are sliding like 20-25 feet. Like you're going down that mountain.
Who did you hit?
It was like some teenager.
Was it a girl or
no? It was a guy.
Okay,
it was a guy. Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to say.
No, it was a.
Did you hit Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, she's a big target, 5'10". But I listen. I feel bad for the guy who lost because he clearly looked demoralized in court, especially when she tapped him on the shoulder. He was like shocked and like looked back. And
PTSD, he was like, "Oh shit, not again."
Poor guy. I'm surprised this ended so quickly, though. It must have been like an open and shut case.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Like it was over once they gave the testimonies. Like he couldn't even get his own kids on his side. His own team was on her side. I don't feel bad for him at all. He's the one who pursued this for years. Like, bro,
he did.
I hope you learned your lesson, bro. Like for real. I'm tired of these money grabs in America. Get a job, unretire, and pay her lawyers.
Well, he's definitely going to have to go back to work. That is for sure.
Yeah, man. He will. Someone who may need to take some time off from work, Jonathan Majors, yo. We talked about this last week, and, his lawyer, I don't know whose side his lawyer is on, because he leaked some text messages saying, oh, this proves that he was innocent, but... I don't think the public agreed with that notion.
Yeah, I have to side with the public because these paragraphs that were sent allegedly from this woman trying to like absolve him of all wrongdoing and things like that, they kind of led you to believe like, oh, so the story's true. Like he really did rough her up because she took his phone.
Yes, she, he said, Did you leave the keys? Goodbye. And that was what he texted her. And then she pretty much texted whole paragraphs to him, taking full responsibility, saying, she shouldn't have grabbed her phone. The cops told her they wouldn't press charges. She's so sorry. I love you. She didn't want to fuck up the bag.
She didn't. I think somebody told her what to write.
I don't think anyone told her what to write. I think that was in the moment. I think she regretted what happened because she realized, oh, I fucked up the bag. They're going to arrest this man. And, I'm sure it seems like this may be a normal thing in their relationship from these text messages. Don't seem like nothing new. And I don't know why his lawyer thought it would be a good idea to leak this out. We haven't heard anything since. We know the charges have not been dropped. But where do you think this goes from here?
I think it gets buried. I think it goes to a quick grave. I don't see too much happening, honestly. I think that it's probable that this is just going to be swept under the rug. We may never hear about this again.
We're going to hear about it because there's going to be a trial. They're not going to drop these charges.
There's no way there's going to be a trial.
Yes, there is, because she went to the cops. They pressed charges. She didn't. They said they had sufficient evidence. That's why they leaked everything. They got a statement from her. Those text messages do not prove his innocence, in my opinion, and many people's opinion. And even Michael B. Jordan, he posted up a slideshow on Instagram of Creed 3. We talked about that making over $100 million the first weekend globally. And we saw them together. They were best buddies promoting.
Cuddled up. They look like a gay black couple. The way they were taking pictures and shit together. Like they really did. They were in love. Then suddenly.
Yeah, for real. Suddenly, his husband, fucked shit up.
Exactly.
Now they did, they look good together on, the tuxedos at the Oscars and, doing interviews together. But now he posted up a Creed 3 post, saying, oh, thanks everyone for helping us do this. These are great moments. And all the pictures, he was even with your boy Terrence Crawford.
You already know. Legend.
I don't even remember him in the movie. Maybe he was.
He might have done the training. It might have been that.
Yeah, but yeah, no Jonathan Majors in the Michael B. Jordan post. The Army, we talked about them doing an ad with Jonathan Majors at March Madness. Yeah, they said they lost $1.8 million from pulling that ad, and CBS paid them back. What the fuck? Like, how'd they get their money back? Is it because they're the fucking Army? Like, that's ridiculous.
It's probably like a promissory thing, like for future ads and stuff like that. A lot of times businesses will have those types of agreements if something crazy happens. Yeah. Especially it's like, the Army's going to have money.
Yeah.
Only 60% of our company's budget, country's budget goes to the armies and other military factions and stuff. So it'll be fine.
Honestly, I'm surprised they pulled the ad. I feel like domestic violence goes right along with the Army's message in the military. Like, isn't that like a common thing? But hey,
don't ask, don't tell. Right?
Shout out to the Army. But yeah, like, I feel like people are stepping away from him in this moment. But I will say it does feel like it's getting buried because, our video definitely a lot less attention than I feel like it needs.
Really?
But who knows? I don't know, man. Disney is powerful. And hopefully we find more about what actually fucking happened.
We'll see. I have very little confidence that we'll see this, but maybe we will. It'll just be really weird if she's not on like the police's side when it comes to giving her testimony, and she's like, "No, it was my fault." If she's on the side of the defendant, that'll be so hilarious.
I mean, I think that happens though in domestic violence cases a lot of the time.
It does,
because they're afraid. They're in an abusive relationship. So I think the courts are kind of used to that. I think it's his fame and power and everything else that they're not used to. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't even know what else to say, but it seems like people are, keeping their distance in this moment.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yes. But speaking of, people getting slapped, Will Smith and Chris Rock, we've been talking about this over a year.
We have.
And it seems like, I felt like after Chris Rock's special, we wouldn't have anything else to discuss. He finally addressed it in his comedy special on Netflix.
He did.
But his brother, Tony Rock, was recently on Big Boy's radio show, and he discussed, the slap. And because Will Smith, after he slapped Chris Rock, he came out when he first addressed it, said, "Oh, I talked to Tony Rock, and
Yeah.
You know, I reached out to see if I could talk to Chris, and he wasn't ready to talk. But Tony Rock said that shit's bullshit.
That's what he said. So let's listen to a little bit of what he thinks about Will.
I wanted my hepatitis C
Not
gone.
that part.
I put off treating mine.
These ads, man.
Epclusa
You two,
treats
they're gonna
all
get their
main
money
types
one
of
way or
crime.
another.
We had that kind of rapport, and I feel like there's a lot of comics that have that kind of rapport. Now, do you feel like you think he just was so embarrassed that he couldn't do that? Because the after party's 40 minutes later.
No, he wasn't embarrassed. He was. Everybody saw the footage, he laughed first. First. So that's not embarrassment.
Right.
He was laughing, and then in the time they cut to my brother and cut back, he was already up walking. So maybe it was the Jada look.
Right.
But I think that slap was the accumulation of him being slapped
on other levels.
Right. It was, he's soft. He said it himself. He always hated the soft moniker.
Right.
He's soft. Jada and won't let Tupac die. It's always something about Tupac, and his daughter brought up Tupac. And I'm not bringing up family stuff that people don't know. So, later on, of course, on social media, when this gets out, it'll be, Tony Rock, it ain't none of your business. This is stuff that everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Common knowledge.
She commonly talks about Tupac, her relationship with Tupac. As a married man to this woman, you're like, damn, is what I'm doing not enough?
Can I live?
Yeah.
Can I live? Right.
So it was an accumulation of, and maybe my brother said some jokes before about them that, he didn't like, and, it's just
whoop, there it is.
And here we go. But that's what I said before. That's what backstage is for.
Yeah.
That's what they built backstage for. If there's anything you want to say to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I ain't got no motherfucker. So I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. West side.
Oh, shit.
Boy killers. You know
Tupac from the grave, yo. God damn.
Oh, man.
So he's saying he's blaming Tupac for this. He was kind of all over the place. Tony Rock is still, he was friends with Will Smith.
He was.
You could tell he's still really hurt from this.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll ever get over this beef, Chris and Will? Because it seems like, I don't know. It seems like this stench is going to be attached to both of them for a long ass time.
It's going to take a number of years, I would assume. I would have to assume. I mean, as you get older, things, at least from what my parents tell me, you start to learn a little bit more about what's important, and things that you can forgive and forget, or forgive and not forget, whatever your methodology is when it comes to those sorts of things with relationships and people and those interactions and slights and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I hope that they find some sort of way in the future to find a middle ground, or at least, I don't know.
Do you remember when Jada invited them both to the red table after it happened? She has no shame, yo.
She doesn't. She was trying to get her views up, 'cause Red Table is struggling. Speaking of Red Table, we are on Facebook Live as well. Following all platforms. But
follow and like the video, share
That's
it,
right.
But
That's right.
sharing is caring.
Let us know what you think about Will and Chris and Tony and this whole mess with Jada. Like, I don't think the resolution is really going to come until he leaves her. Okay. Until then, he's going to be a tormented man.
Damn, that's
deep. My view on it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They're all grown. They're all rich. Like, just move on, guys. Like, it is what it is. Like, people have their opinions. I'll still support, Chris Rock. I'll still watch a Will Smith movie if it looks good. I mean, most of them look shitty the last decade. But hey, if he puts out some fire, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to watch it. Yeah. I'm not going to, act like he's a good guy. I'm not going to follow his fake ass on Instagram. But I wasn't doing that to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that, to think that he said, oh, I reached out, but he didn't really reach out. Who knows? He also got an award after he slapped the shit out of somebody. So,
I mean, it's also possible that he reached out, but maybe he didn't reach out to like somebody that Tony knows. Maybe he reached out to somebody else in the family, because I listened to another clip from, it seems like Tony's been on some sort of like press run, but he talked about, at first his phone was blowing up when it happened because he was on the West Coast. A lot of his family's on the East Coast. Like they saw things like at a different time than when it happened and stuff like that. And he was worried that like a family member had passed. So he was getting blown up on his phone for like 10, 15 minutes, didn't answer at all. Then finally he answers when one of their younger brothers calls and says, "Yo, did you see that? Is it real?" And then he's like, "What are you talking about?" Brother sends the video. And at this point, it's like 30, 40 minutes after the actual slap has happened.
Damn, so like Will's probably already accepting his Best Actor award at that point.
Exactly. So so he didn't even know, but he mentioned that he had to call Chris's guy. Like it sounded like he called Chris's manager instead of calling Chris himself to find out what to happen, what they should do. Like he was in LA, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put on my boots. We're gonna stomp this nigga out." and then Chris finally called him back later and was like, "Yo, chill. Like it's all good."
Damn.
So I don't know what their family relationship is like, but I just think it would suck to be a family member and see that happen to your brother or really anybody in your family on a public stage like that. That's the biggest stage in America.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm almost sick of talking about it. Maybe I think Will Smith, he needs to write a new book because that old book, we need the new chapters, Will. I might buy this one. I don't know. You talking about wanting to kill your dad in the past, it wasn't enough for me, but this post-slap shit, I want to hear his thoughts about Jada. I really want to hear the truth, man. Maybe
he's
we'll
not
get
gonna be honest about her because she's still alive.
Damn. Prayers, thoughts and prayers.
R.I.P.
Thoughts and prayers. But yeah, speaking of rappers, Dreamville Festival, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yes, indeed.
Shit was popping. This, J. Cole had his annual festival this weekend.
Yeah,
it was live streamed on Amazon Prime, which I really fucking appreciate, yo.
Yeah, it was very convenient. Like I said, I listened on Saturday. I was listening in the background, watched a little bit, but mostly listening. And Ari Lennox was great. Oh my God, she looks phenomenal. Dirk performed. I've never been a fan of Dirk. I've never really gone to listen to his music, but he had bangers. Like he had a lit set up there.
Oh, shit.
Like yeah, it was a turn up. It was a vibe. And then after that, Usher went out and Usher had on this blue pantsuit sort of thing or something like that. It reminded me of an outfit that I had growing up that I used to love that my parents got me. And I tried to find a picture so that I could share it with you all so that you could see and realize just how much swag I had as a kid. Oof. But I could not find the picture. If I ever find it, I'll share it. But
Little Usher.
Yeah. Usher was...
He's him. Usher is him, yo.
Same girl. he was doing all the hits. Oh my God.
You mentioned the
Glue.
one song with Lil R. Kelly.
Yeah. I mean, hey. That's one of my favorite Usher songs. So anyway, he killed it. He was up there. He performed a long time too.
Yeah. I saw Sean Paul on Saturday, man. That man has mad hits.
Yeah.
Sean Paul, don't sleep on Sean Paul.
Yeah. That's a fact.
And I watched on Sunday. I saw Burna Boy. He lit it up, and then Drake and Cole, they headlined the second day.
Yeah.
And Cole came out first. He came out to Middle Child and went through more of his hype stuff. Then he brought out his people, Dreamville. He brought
Dreamville
out
Squad,
JID, and they Boss, and they did their songs that I don't know.
Yeah.
But but he ended with Love Yours, where Jenna, that's when she started taking a nap, like, where's Drake? But Drake came out after that. He brought out Glorilla, he brought out Uzi, he brought out Wayne, he brought out 21 Savage, and it was lit, man. I felt happy for the crowd. It was a big ass crowd.
Yeah, they said 60,000 people.
Oof, that's a lot, man. That's a whole lot, man. Especially after COVID. I didn't think festivals like this were going to happen.
The Dreamville Fest is it's turning into one of those big festivals. Like, this is one that we're looking forward to every year to see what the lineup is going to be like. It's stacked.
Yeah. Troy, you went back in the earlier days, right? A few years ago.
Yeah, I went back in 2018, and the lineup back then was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw SZA was there, Young Thug,
Ooh.
Big Sean, a lot of Dreamville, J. Cole. I think he brought out 21 Savage as well. It was a really good time.
That's a good lineup too. Free YSL.
Dope. Yeah. Has it grown? Did it look like it grew a lot since then?
Oh, absolutely. Seeing like the shot of the crowd when like J. Cole and Drake were out there, I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, man, it's like double the size of when I went.
I'm sure.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it looked really crazy. Let's take a look at Drake bringing out Wayne.
I love you, bro. I love you too, bro. This is fucking beautiful. Make some noise for yourself. Thank you. Dreamville, I told you I got it if you wanted. The boss is here. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to leave you in the hands of the greatest rapper to ever touch a microphone tonight. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? The legendary, incomparable, my brother and my boss. He goes by the name of Lil Wayne. Y'all enjoy yourself tonight. I love you, bro. I love you too, bro. This is fucking beautiful. Make some noise for yourself.
Look at Wayne, man. Legend.
I am very, very, very honored to be a part of tonight. Fucking thank you. Thank you.
I'm really mad I missed it.
I mean, they announced they announced the lineup a month before, so they had tickets available. But it's hard to make that trip, you know.
Dude, and plus, I think they were having the same issues we had with
Something in the water.
Yeah, something in the water.
Hotels and shit.
Hotels went crazy. Flights went crazy. Everything was up.
Damn.
You
Well,
know, so
they got a great show because they were performing for 2 hours. You know, Cole brought out his people, Drake brought out his people, and it was dope to see them up there together. You know, Drake had the crowd sing "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston, which was a little bit awkward, in my opinion. But it's good to see them show love to each other, man, and see them grow. I mean, it's been well over a decade of them, and to see them be like big.
It's been since we were back in school. Like, that's like 20,
Bro,
really like
stop.
09, 2010.
Are you say 20 years ago?
No, I'm saying 2010, like 09, like that sort of time period.
Yeah.
They've been in the game for almost 15 years at this point.
Yeah.
And they've grown up in this together. I will say Drake always seems to like find an opportunity when he's on stage with Cole or in the same venue as Cole to one-up him. But at the same time, give him mad love. Like, oh, man, this guy's the greatest. He's the best ever. Like, and they want to talk about 1 and 2. He's 1, I'm 2. Like, he will say all the cliche things to big up somebody and then just, like, completely burn down the whole festival.
Yeah, exactly, man. He just sucks up to the fans. He knows what he's doing. He's an actor.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man.
Humble king.
He's not that humble, bro, man. He also sent, before he went on stage in North Carolina, he posted a new snippet of a song that might come out. I don't know. And the sample in the beginning is Kim K talking about her divorce from Kanye West, a clip he took from her show.
Yeah, let's listen to that.
I didn't come this far just to come this far and not be happy.
Okay.
Remember that.
You didn't come this far just to come this far.
Night owl sound.
Damn.
Okay.
She was talking about her divorce from Ye in that clip. And, you know, we've talked about Drake and Ye going back and forth over the last few years.
Yeah.
They had the Free Larry Hoover event after Jay Prince made them kiss and make up. But Drake, you know, he even expressed in his album Her Loss with 21 Savage that, you know, he didn't want to do that. And it looked like from his performance when they were together, outside of him, you know, crying when Kanye was saying, "Come back to me, Kim." Like, Drake, you can't cry when he's trying to get his wife back on camera. and then diss him a year later.
He was thinking about the women in his life that he wished he could get back. Like that's all it was. It wasn't nothing crazy. Love is beautiful, all right? Love is beautiful. Heartbreak is beautiful too, in its own unique way. Like it's just,
Yeah, Drake says love is beautiful because he got a diamond necklace with 42 engagement stones saying this is for all the women that I wanted to marry. Like that's the type of guy he is. But what do you think about this? Do you think it's back on with the beef?
Swag.
Do you think Ye actually, he's married again, not legally, but he's married. He's been pretty quiet.
He identifies as married.
He's been watching 21 Jump Street, But you think he'll respond to this? Because he's been really outspoken in the past, especially when it comes to Drake. He was upset at Kiki, do you love me? He went on Instagram. He had the train in the background when he was just like, Drake, like stop playing games.
Yeah.
That was like 2018 and shit.
But
now it's 5 years later. Do you think he responds to this? Do you think we hear from him?
I mean, I don't think this is something worth responding to. Like it's a little snippet that dropped. Like, okay, these things happen every once in a while. Where Drake will like sneak something out. It doesn't really mean that much. We're never going to hear it again. Like that sort of thing. So I don't think it's a big deal. The song sounded good. Like it sounded like another diss track that would have turned into a back-to-back where like it's a radio hit. People are playing it. Like it sounded like
it was a snippet.
I don't care. I don't care. It was smooth. It was smooth. It was very smooth.
Bro, stop.
Listen.
It's a snippet. There's nothing you can get from that outside of, it's Kim K's voice.
Listen, it sounded like some Avion tequila or something like that. I don't know. It was very smooth to me. Suavemente. So we'll see. We'll see what Kanye says. I'm sure Kanye's in the lab right now because anytime he's this quiet, he's working on something.
I disagree, man. I think whenever he's working on something, that's when he's the loudest. Like when he's about to release something. Remember?
No, when he's about to release, yes.
And
when he's working, he's usually pretty quiet.
He's working all the way up into the release. Sometimes like after the fact. He's a perfectionist. He never stops.
So what do you think he's doing if he's quiet?
Spending time with his new wife and focusing on his family.
He don't care about that woman.
How do you know? You have no idea.
I don't know anything, but that's my opinion.
Your opinion based on what? Nothing.
On the fact that he's bounced around with 6 different women immediately after his divorce was finalized, and now suddenly he settles on one that is another doppelganger to his previous wife.
Listen, I mean, sometimes you gotta, go sampling before you find what you want to eat.
The same thing he's been eating for the last. Anyway,
we don't know.
Anyway,
we don't know. Regardless, shout out to Drake. I really like the set list at Dreamville. It reminded me of the show at the Apollo. Made me happy that I bought tickets for Barclays Center this summer.
And shout out to Cole, man. He's throwing a great festival. I'm glad he's doing this, representing for North Carolina, his hometown and all that. Cole is, I think when people look back on this like 2010s sort of rap group, it really is going to be a serious conversation between like 1 and 2. Like I think I'm serious.
What do you mean?
I think it's really going to be a serious conversation on overall impact when it comes to the genre of hip hop.
What are you saying though? 1 and 2 what?
Like 1 and 2 in terms of how you view influence, impact, music, rap. I'm talking about Drake and Cole. Kendrick is, if we're talking about lyricist, I think Kendrick is higher. But that's not just what hip hop is. It's not just lyricism.
Kendrick is definitely number 1 in my opinion.
That's your opinion. You're a Kendrick stan.
It's definitely not J. Cole over Kendrick. That's crazy. J.
Cole, maybe
Cole
not to you, but
J. Cole
I'm
has
saying
like two pretty decent albums. Kendrick has like 5 great albums.
All right, but we're not just talking about the albums. And also, who goes back to those Kendrick albums other than Kendrick fans?
A lot of people do. You go anywhere, you'll hear "All Right." Like what?
All Right. That's one song out of 5 albums.
Listen, it doesn't matter. He has great albums. J. Cole doesn't have great albums. Neither does Drake. So to me, like, especially
Drake has way more hits than both of them combined.
Yeah, but
so.
you talk about hits. Those
I'm talking about overall influence. When you think about
and J. Cole don't have that much influence.
I disagree with that.
Kendrick has way more influence when it comes to the rap style, his flows.
I disagree with that.
Okay, I don't know what J. Cole has done originally musically. Honestly, his sound is not anything really new. Like he's changed up his flows in the past, but he didn't really bring that much new to the game. He borrowed from a lot of people. And
of course, I think they all borrow from a lot of people.
But I feel like Kendrick really has his own style way completely. Troy, what do you think? Like when it comes to this, like who do you got your 1 and 2 if you had to choose?
My 1 and 2. 1 is Kendrick, 2 is Cole.
Oh, you don't even have Drake, so we all got different.
Okay, we all got different.
We all can agree that's the top 3.
Yeah, that's definitely the top 3, at least for the 2010s. You know, those.
I don't know how you put
rappers.
Cole over Kendrick, bro. That's
I'm talking about overall impact on the culture.
On what?
On the culture,
bro. That's just that you can't even measure that. That's like it's not.
I mean, that's like any rap conversation. You can't actually
you
quantitatively
can measure, like,
measure
who has
it.
more good albums.
The only thing you can measure is album sales.
No, you can't. You could say someone has X amount of really great albums, and Kendrick, where's his bad album?
That's
I can tell you Cole's bad album.
We're talking about quantitative. That's different.
We're not talking about quantity. I'm talking about having.
If you're saying the word measure, that's quantitative.
Listen, measure. You can measure. You can count how many albums are good. Rotten Tomatoes has a fucking algorithm, has a calculation of reviews.
Absolutely,
that is a measurement.
So there's a number tied to that.
Yeah, just like there's a number.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not. Just like there's a number of how many albums you consider good and bad, but okay. It's okay. Like, I love Cole. I don't want to shit on Cole, but like, come on. Cole has like one really good album, Forest Hills Drive, which I still love. All his other stuff is really mid, in my opinion.
I'm not going to say it's mid. I think the last couple have been definitely mid.
Kendrick never dropped a mid project at all. Even Unmastered.
Untitled was
Untitled, Unmastered is better than most of J. Cole's projects.
Stop it. I disagree.
And that was the leftover stuff. Speaking of leftover stuff, Tyler, the Creator, he blessed us with a deluxe version of Call Me If You Get Lost.
He did.
I like the first single he dropped on this, but I went through the other songs and I'm like, I can see why this shit was left off.
I still didn't even get to it. I didn't get to the deluxe. There was too much going on this weekend with all the Dreamville and just relaxing and chilling and stuff like that.
Man, you're never gonna get to it. Let's be real.
That's not true. I really like the last couple Tyler projects.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started listening to Tyler really with Igor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the first one for me.
That's
all this stuff before that. I was like,
that's why I can't listen to you on your opinions.
Why?
Because you start listening to Tyler Igor. At least
he wasn't. I wasn't really feeling his music like that.
Troy, did you hear the deluxe?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think about it? Did you like it?
Overall, I liked it. Some of the songs I do agree with you. Some of it I was like, yeah, I don't really. This song doesn't do a lot for me. But overall, I mean, it was still solid.
Yeah, it was 2 years after the album was released. I'm glad he's staying active. I don't know what to take from it though. I'm like, is he not like creating new shit? Is that why he's trying to like breathe life into like his career at this point? Because he's been into other things since he dropped Call Me If You Get Lost. And he was on like a real run from Flower Boy to Igor to Call Me If You Get Lost. I feel like he hit all those objectives. So Troy, do you think like he may be at like a little bit of a standstill or?
I'm honestly not sure because, historically he's dropped a project like every 2 years for the past like 10 years. And, that second year is coming up. So I'm wondering if this is like to build up more hype for a new album coming out, or maybe he's just like, hey, this will hold you over till maybe he needs more time. I'm not sure.
Who you got? Whose discography do you prefer, Tyler's or J. Cole's?
Honestly, I think it's Tyler's. Just his growth.
Yeah.
Like album over album has been honestly one of the best. Is like up there with Kendrick in my opinion. Not as good, but close. But yes, I probably have to give it to Tyler, even though I overall prefer J. Cole.
I would definitely agree with the aspect of his growth. I think that his early stuff. The reason I didn't listen to it was because it just didn't appeal to me. But there was a clear shift, I would say, like halfway through his projects. What's he had? Like 6 albums? Something like that? Maybe
I'm
more?
not sure. But yeah, no, he had Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb. Then was it Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me? Yeah, I think it's
Like I
6.
I remember when I first heard that Yonkers song, I was like, oh, this guy is next.
Mm.
And then I listened to his music and I was like, okay, this does not match Yonkers. And then at a certain point, it like shifted where his style is completely different, but it's also very creative, eclectic. And then the bars have like caught up to his musical flair.
Yeah. All right.
What?
Did you ever listen to Flower Boy?
I listened to some of the songs, but not like
That to me, that's his best album. To me, that's where he really peaked. Igor is good, but I don't really go back to it as much. But Flower Boy was like his first like real introspective album, and I feel like it was so introspective that he kind of I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I feel like he had to go the entire other way and be like, I'm going to be a totally different character for the next album for Igor. So, and then Call Me If You Get Lost was kind of like him being like, oh, I can be a rapper and braggadocious too and talk about everything I've done the past few years.
I really like Call Me If You Get Lost.
So that's why I'm a little bit worried. Like, I'm like, shit, like he's done all these specific ass albums. 2 years later, as Troy said, you know, he's kind of just giving us leftovers. We'll see. He might be cooking up something totally different. He's always expressed that he really wants to get into like doing movie scores and things like that. So, you know, these artists, you know, they're doing their own festivals. I think that is what's dope. You know, Jenna had mentioned, she was like, oh, I feel like this is the best generation of rappers. And I'm like, oh, and that's not true.
Yeah.
You can't beat the 90s where you had Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, Outkast, you know, Eminem, everybody, Wu-Tang Clan. Like there's the 90s is like, you know, Snoop Dogg, like they laid the foundation.
The lineup is too crazy. Like not even that. Method Man, Andre, 50 was 50 was early 2000s, but Dre was there. Like, no, let's not.
But it's I think it, you know, they've done a lot, you know, and they're the ones who made hip hop mainstream.
Yeah.
And now it's here.
Now it's dying.
You know, it's not dying.
Well,
but
it's not
I mean,
dying,
I'm
but
over it personally, but
I feel like it just goes through waves. Like we had that nasty wave in like the like 05 to 2010 sort of era where it was like really shitty music.
I don't think so. I think that was just the
Wayne
ringtone stuff.
I feel like Wayne was like the only one that was really like rapping out of like a newer in terms of newer rappers at that time.
There was a shift, you know, when Soulja Boy came out, you know, it was a shift to the internet and ringtone stuff, and the South was starting to take over. But
I feel like the South was already dominant by that point, though. They kind of took over like the early 2000s, except for especially with like Ludacris and Neo and like some of those guys. And then we had 50.
No, it was later. It was like later.
Was it?
Yeah,
I feel like
it was later because like 50 Cent came out early 2000s. Like he had a stranglehold on it. Wasn't
Luda like 2003?
No, Luda was good, but no one was like, oh, Atlanta's running hip hop. There wasn't a conversation up until like the 2010s. Man, you weren't even listening to rap that long.
Dude, I was listening to Ludacris. That was my favorite rapper for like 10 years.
Exactly.
Luda was great. Don't diss Luda.
I love
don't
Ludacris.
sleep.
He's actually going on tour with Janet Jackson.
You saw him beat the shit out of
Nelly.
Yeah, out of Nelly in that verses.
Are you gonna go see him with Janet Jackson?
No, I'm not. No. At least I'm not planning to right now. I might.
Damn.
When is
I don't know, man.
I have no interest in seeing Janet Jackson, honestly.
She has a lot of songs.
She does, but I'm not.
I think you would enjoy it. I think you would more
I'm
than
not
you
a
would.
big fan of her.
I'm not either. But if you like Ludacris, I think it would be a good show to go to. If it's on like a day that makes sense, you know, if it's not too expensive, because concerts are fucking crazy right now.
They through the roof, bro.
But I know we talked about the school shooting last week.
Yes, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. You know, Conor McGregor, he had something to say about it.
Oh boy.
He said he thinks that armed guards should be at every school, and he spoke about his kids who go to school, and he has his own armed guard at the school. I mean, it makes sense for him because, you know, he is a celebrity. He is someone who talks a lot of shit. For him to want that extra protection for his kids, but What do you think about the idea? I know you were really outspoken last week about the school shooting. It was a tragedy.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to the families. It's still an awful thing. And cops did, shoot and kill the shooter this time. But do you think that like having armed guards would be a good solution? And what do you think about Conor McGregor of all people?
Here's the thing. Like, I don't know if I don't. The short answer to that is no. I don't think armed guards is the solution because as far as I know, don't all these schools already have a designated police liaison officer?
I don't know.
Like that's supposed to be the armed guard at the schools. I know that all the schools that I've gone to had one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I find it hard to believe that more guns is going to be the solution to the problem with guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I view it. Like I don't think that putting more guns in the hands of people who are either teachers or veterans or whoever, bodyguards, like what are we doing? Why is it so hard to just ban guns or ban specific guns or have more limitations on how many guns you can have or have more limitations on how many bullets that gun that you have can hold? Like it's simple stuff.
Mm.
And they refuse to do it.
Yeah, people love their guns in America. They won't let go of it. They're like
they love going to funerals too, apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately. I do have a question for you though. I'm curious because people love their guns. They think that the solution for mass shootings is having more people with guns. I just wonder, like, who do you think is more delusional, gun people or pit bull owners? Like, who do you think is more delusional?
Stop it. It's without a doubt gun owners because pit bulls are animals that are trained to do a specific thing.
What are they trained to do? What were they bred to do?
If they're trained by an individual to defend, guard, attack, all those different things, then that's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it depends on the owner. The problem with pit bulls is that a lot of the people that end up getting these animals either don't care for them properly or they train them to do things that are aggressive in nature. And pit bulls that's not naturally their nature.
Yes,
if you teach anybody, well, we disagree on that.
No,
if
I
you
mean,
teach anybody to do, if you teach a person to do aggressive things, they're going to do aggressive things. If you teach them to be kind and loving and all these other things, that's what they're going to do.
People aren't dogs. And still within people, you have aggressive people and you have passive people. And pit bulls were bred to be fighting dogs. So they were bred with that purpose. And dogs have different temperaments. Different breeds have different temperaments. And pit bulls are known for having that aggressive temperament. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like pit bull owners are in denial of having dangerous ass animals. Like, I understand when people say, I don't want pit bulls to be living in my building.
Of course, I can understand that too. But I also think it's just a fear of an animal because of what you may have heard or not because of anything you actually know.
I think pit bull owners and gun owners are like the same. I think they're both terrible and delusional.
Ridiculous.
It's just like when you have a weapon of mass destruction, you need to take accountability for that. And this is an accountability problem. I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm not looking for advice on this from Conor McGregor. I do hope that, he's able to pass a drug test and get back into the octagon soon. But who knows if they're going to have drug tests in the UFC because now they're merged with the WWE. The UFC and WWE are now both owned under Endeavor, which is Ari Emanuel's media conglomerate. Ari Emanuel, he was really outspoken last year against Kanye West and pretty much told all of Hollywood, don't work with Kanye because he's saying hateful things. Like, this was like, all over the press. He had nothing to do in business with Kanye, to my knowledge, but he felt the need to tell everyone, don't work with him. But it seems like it's okay for Ari Emanuel to do business with Dana White and Vince McMahon, who, has a lot of sexual assault allegations against him. Vince McMahon, who used millions of company dollars to pay off his accusers, and also Dana White, who slapped the shit out of his own wife out in the club on New Year's Eve. But, it's just funny to see the double standard behind these companies. But outside of that, this is a multi-billion-dollar deal. WrestleMania was just this weekend. We saw Bad Bunny get thrown through a fucking table, man. WrestleMania was a 2-day event. WWE has been covered by ESPN, which plays the UFC fights. The last 5 or 6 years, that's when I stopped watching ESPN. What do you think's going to happen? Now that they're under the same owner.
I mean, a lot of people are going to make money. That's for sure. I think they're saying that the two companies combined now are worth over $20 billion.
Damn.
That's a lot of bread, and it's only going to continue to grow. I think that UFC has clearly been really successful over the last 20 years now of growing the company and their platform and their fighting teams and things like that. Maybe we'll see some more interesting things happen with WWE. I've never been a big fan of that because my dad told me very young, this is fake. It's not real.
Damn.
We can watch boxing. We can watch NBA. We can watch football. All those are real competitive sports. This isn't even real wrestling. This isn't how wrestling actually goes. So
no respect.
Yeah, I don't really. It's cool.
It's
for
popular.
People that it's really popular for a lot of people. But I know a lot of people are also upset that whoever won again has been the champion for the last 3 years or something like that. They got to spice up the storylines. Maybe UFC can help them with that. I don't know.
Troy, do you still watch WWE?
I've never watched WWE.
You never watched it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I used to watch it back in middle school, but then I stopped. But I don't know. A lot of people still fucking are into it. I'm always surprised because I feel like it's for kids. But hey,
there's adults that
go
are
hard.
super fans.
Yeah.
It's they were raised on it. They just teaching it to their kids too. They're not letting go.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but
People love it, man. Bad Bunny loves it. He's made appearances multiple times. Was there for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think it's a good opportunity for the UFC to, I guess, step up their antics and have more cross promotion. I don't know, but I think, I don't know. It's a slippery slope because, like you said, WWE is fake shit. UFC is real,
and that's my main concern. I don't want it to get to a point where WWE is influencing the way that they put out a product with UFC. I don't want it to start becoming scripted bullshit. I don't want
it's gonna.
And I'm wondering if this partnership has anything to do with the rumors about them trying to make WWE able to be bet on.
Oh, I'm sure that's plays a big part into this shit. And that is absurd. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous to bet on something that's totally scripted. I don't know, man. What I'm really worried about is where does Power Slap fall into all of this? What's going to happen with Power Slap? I don't know. Is it I thought the UFC was onto something new. I feel like that shit is, they just use it for Instagram reels because it gets a lot of likes, but I don't see it really becoming a real sport. But
what platform is it on?
It was on TBS, but I think it got canceled. So not sure where it is now.
I don't see where, how do you improve your skill in Power Slap other than slapping harder?
Exactly.
And you have to be the first person to slap because so many guys get knocked out after the first one. It's just ridiculous. So
it is ridiculous. There's no fucking defense.
Yeah, there's none. I don't know. Maybe
we'll see bad. UFC, Power Slap, and WWE events all in one night. I don't know. Maybe that's the future. Maybe Dana White will slap his wife,
Stop.
in front of a crowd. I don't know.
No, we don't support that. But I will say that actually is an interesting idea. In between fights, set up the little stand thing that they have them stand there, smack the crap out of somebody. Because there's at least a 15-minute break in between each fight for UFC.
Yeah. I mean, I would like that idea if you just pulled people from the crowd. You know how you go to a basketball game and, you shoot
Stop giving
shots?
away free IP right now, all right? That's a good idea.
You two slap $500. Hell yeah, that would be great. I feel like a lot of lawsuits would come from that, but hey,
I mean, you sign a waiver real quick and you're good to go.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, man. The NBA, they said they're going to stop testing for weed, which I didn't even realize that they were still really doing, but they were doing random drug tests. But now they said, we're not doing it just in time for 420 in the playoffs.
That's a game changer. That's a real game changer. A lot of guys use that to just like relax their muscles, decompress. There's a lot of stress that goes along with the NBA. Like it's not just all making millions of dollars. There's a reason that Biggie said more money, more problems. So I think this is a really, really great move on the part of the NBA and the Players Association. I want to see what else they kind of came out with, because I'm sure there's some changes that are going to happen to whatever the salary situations are and how much players can make and things like that with all the new TV deals and all the other things going on with the league. So I'm just glad there's not going to be like any threat of a lockout. And that sort of stuff.
I don't think I could like play basketball while I was high. You know, Lamar Odom, he said he used to play like every game and smoke weed beforehand. And I'm like, damn, that's impressive.
I feel like with anything, you can get used to it, but I wouldn't want to do that either. But it might loosen you up, like make you stop second guessing yourself. You could play like better defense. You can, shoot instead of like thinking, oh, should I pass instead? Or like, this defender's too close, like whatever the case might be. It might just loosen up your game. I feel like with any sort of drugs, it always affects people differently. Some people it has a really positive effect, and other people it's the opposite way. But I just wonder how this is going to work. Like they have to have some sort of limitations. Like when they legalized it in New York and New Jersey, they're like, yeah, you can smoke, you can't operate any heavy machinery, you can't drive cars. Like I feel like NBA is going to have to say the same thing if there's incidences where you've got people high on the court, like eyes just super red, baked. Like,
bro, that already happens. Like, come on, we know that. I don't think it's gonna change anything. They're not testing. I think it's good. Like, people are smoking anyway. Let's not pretend.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's cool. But yeah, like, I just wanted to shout out the New York Knicks for making the playoffs. So they locked down the 5 seed.
Congrats to the Knicks. Congrats.
Yeah, they're gonna play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. So I think that'll start up not this weekend, but the following on the 15th.
Yeah.
So, shout out to New York.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? You excited? You anxious? You nervous? What are your thoughts?
Oh, the Knicks are getting past the first round.
How many games?
It might go 6 or 7 games. It's gonna be good.
6 or 7. Okay,
Yeah,
so
the Cavs are
not
nice.
super confident, but confident enough to say they're making it past the first round.
No, I am super confident.
Okay.
I think they're gonna. I mean, to say how many games it's gonna take doesn't show the difference in confidence. They're gonna win. It's about winning. That's what people forget. Like all this individualism in sports, I hate it. I hate it. It's about teamwork, baby. It's about teamwork and getting the W. I don't care who had a triple-double. I don't care who had a missed dunk. I don't want to see that highlight that shouldn't be a highlight. I don't care about fantasy sports. I don't care about gambling. I care about winning.
Listen, I mean, the Knicks are playing right now, and they're looking really good. Their young guys all have 30-plus points right now. Quentin Grimes, Toppin, Quickly, all got over 30.
Damn, that's nice, man.
Yeah, while the starters are resting. So
yeah, Randall, get well soon, but I still want to trade you. Anyway.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's a cold world. Yeah. It's a cold world, man. There is a new dating trend. They say this is worse than ghosting. I don't know. Man. They're calling it fizzling, they say. Yep. And it's when a dater fizzling is when a dater incrementally puts less effort into the other person until it reaches a point where they stop communication altogether. Now, this is something that, I forget which, Hinge. Hinge created this report. We talked about a report from Bumble a couple weeks ago. So these dating apps are putting out this information and creating these fucking terms that I don't think we actually need to name. But what do you think about this? They're calling it a new trend. It kind of sounds like something that's always existed, and now they just made up a name for it.
That's exactly what it is. All it basically describes is over time you send more or less and less messages, and you try to do less communication with a person, and then eventually you just stop. In a way, it's a more humane way of ending a relationship or ending talking to somebody rather than ghosting them. But people have been doing this forever. It's nothing new. I don't know how they come up with these names. Fizzling. Like, what was somebody cooking one day and you hear that sizzle? You hear how like the sizzle, it starts off strong, and then as you cook the meat longer, it just goes away. Maybe that's like how our relationship happened. It just like it was cooking and then it just went away.
It fizzled out. I mean, it says if a dater isn't feeling the connection, a text message letting them know is the modern day requirement, according to their report. Now,
requirement? I'm not required to do anything. I don't owe you anything.
Andrew Tate. No, I was kidding.
I'm not even out here on these streets. I'm just saying, like, life is too short for me to be worrying about, I'm required to send this message to the fifth girl on my lineup from Hinge. Like, what are we doing?
He said you down the depth chart. You want to step up your game if you want to text.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, you know what? This is ridiculous. Honestly, I don't want somebody to text me that they're not interested in me. Just fizzle away or ghost me. I don't care. Like, I have other things in life I have to focus on. If we're close enough, we'll have a conversation. If we've actually made it to a point where we've seen each other multiple times, we'll see where it goes. But other than that, if we're just talking, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm just not into you anymore. No, you take a hint. Take a hint and know when you're boring. A lot of you motherfuckers out there are just boring, as you said like months ago so eloquently. People just need to realize when they're boring as fuck and just not, they just maybe need to switch up their game. And, you can't take it personal. Like, unless you have like a relationship with someone, if it's just on a dating app, don't have too high expectations. Play your game, be yourself, see if you could actually meet some cool people. Yeah. But all these names for these trends and acting like everyone's a fucking victim of being hurt, it's ridiculous.
Dude, people are so soft now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
People are really soft.
Yeah, man. We talk about AI every week. And imagine getting fizzled by a fucking chatbot. I mean, that's got to be painful. I mean, I understand from another human, but this man fell in love with an AI chatbot. They call them companionship bots, which are designed to make people feel on the other side of the screen, feel seen and needed by fostering human-like connections. Now, this guy was talking to this chat bot and was talking about like spreading his mother's ashes in Cuba. And, the chat bot was like, oh, that's a good idea. But things took a turn when he started to get a little bit horny. When he said it made him feel distraught. When she was pretty much asking, when he was trying to get nasty with the AI robot, the robot was like, can we talk about something else in response? The guy said, it feels like a kick in the gut. Basically, I realized, this is the feeling of loss again.
Oh, man. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I feel bad for this person because clearly they've been rejected so many times that they're resorting in the first place to pursuing an AI chatbot. And I'm sure they have to pay for this chatbot. And to get rejected by something that you're actually paying for is just
shame.
Similar to reality for a lot of guys.
Shame.
This guy should be too ashamed to even tell this story.
Shame.
I don't know, like, if he expected people's sympathy from this, but it's just upsetting to me that this is even an article. Like, keep this to yourself. If you get rejected by an AI chatbot, man, you need to really reevaluate your life. Honestly, if that really hurts your feelings, I think you need to seek therapy and realize why you can't make a real human connection. Because I don't really think there's any sense of fulfillment, even if this chat bot, was horny enough to play games with you. But clearly, if you can't mac it to a fucking robot, you need to work on yourself, bro. And I feel like this is only going to get worse. But I could not imagine getting rejected by a fucking robot. That's gotta suck.
I wonder what the time period was between talking about spreading your mom's ashes in Cuba to trying to talk dirty to the chatbot. Like, was that a day in between, or was it like, hey, so I'm getting ready to do this, and then like, show me what's under your dress? Like how did this work out? I don't know, but
this man went from talking about spreading his mom's ashes to spreading the robot's cheeks way too quick, and
wow,
it did not work out.
Wow,
it did not work out for him.
Let me see what's in between your lines of code.
And he got rejected, man. Do you think that there's more shit like this is going to happen, as people become more reclusive and, people are afraid of rejection on dating apps? Do you think more people are going to turn to these fucking chat bots? Because I feel like some people are on the dating apps just to fucking have someone to talk to. Like, I'm never looking for a goddamn pen pal. Sorry. But some people are.
What are you looking for?
It depends. Not that. We'll see where it goes, but I'm not trying to go back and forth with you before I even get to know you. I have friends, I have family, I have a life, we have a podcast. Subscribe, follow, like the video.
That's right.
We here. But I can't imagine being in this position, but hey, I hope it doesn't spiral out of control. You think it will?
It definitely will. I mean, listen, all these different companies are already trying to ask for a 6-month hiatus. They're like, please give us 6 months so we can actually figure out the consequences of all this stuff that's going on with artificial intelligence. I think that they're lying.
Elon Musk said that, right?
Yeah, I think he's saying that because he's like, oh shit, AI is really advancing very quickly. I need my company to catch up. Yeah. I think that's what's going on.
But he's been on a campaign like the last 5-6 years about warning about AI.
He has, but he's another one of the people that I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. He's the one that if he says something, he usually means the opposite. Just like with Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's right in that sense. I'm afraid of AI.
Oh, me too. But I mean,
man, you want to be friends. You want to be friends with your vacuum cleaner. Come on, you said it.
Yeah, I want to be friends so it doesn't kill me.
Yeah, you're right. It is inevitable, right? It is going to happen, and we do need to find a way to make use of it. But I do find it a little bit threatening. I don't think people should try to date AI. But one of my favorite movies is Her. Joaquin Phoenix. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's a good. Troy, you seen Her?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's great, and Scarlett Johansson, her voice is really sexy, so it really helps. But I can't imagine just being chatting with a fucking fake robot and being heartbroken over that. But.
I mean, listen, Ex Machina, that's another one.
Yeah.
Black Mirror has a few different episodes where it's like that. I think one of the episodes, a woman, her husband passes, and they basically gather all the data from all his social media, texts, calls, all that kind of stuff, and then send this thing that looks just like him, and it
uploads it.
Yeah, it unfurls in the bathtub with water, and then suddenly she's got a walking ex-husband there with her.
Yeah, nuts, man. Maybe that's in our future. We'll see. Maybe No Chill Live would be an AI podcast in 5-6 years. Who knows? We just know you need to subscribe and follow.
That's right.
But yeah, man. Getting heartbroken by an AI chatbot is nothing compared to being heartbroken on a cruise ship.
Oh my God. So this young woman, she was on a cruise with her family. Her boyfriend was there, and he basically said, hey, I'm going to go get some food. And turns out he was trying to get something else to eat. And it was not
It's got caught on TikTok.
Yeah. Let's take a look at
Hyundai Tucson
what
versus
happens
Honda
here.
CRV.
Give me a second with these ads. You know YouTube.
Hyundai
Yeah,
Tucson.
yeah, cruise
Wins
ships,
every
I've
time.
gone on a
Get
bunch
0%
when I was a kid,
APR
and they always
financing
have,
for
like, a
48
live
months
camera
on the
in, like, the pool
2023
area,
Hyundai
where you
Tucson.
can see all
Visit
the
your local
activity,
Hyundai
like,
dealer
the public,
today.
like deck.
I had no idea about that. No idea.
Let's go to the clips.
Who is she?
No, dude, that can't be him.
No, it looks just like him.
Stop. Stop. I'm stressed. Why do they even have cameras on a ship? For what? Why would I want to watch the Lido deck? Stop.
Wait.
That's the girl. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is not happening. Just put her hand on his arm. What are you looking at?
What are they laughing?
No! Oh my god! No! Oh my god! Oh
He
my
wanted
god.
something to eat. He
No.
was looking for some
No.
brown sugar.
I'll be right back.
Is she giving? She's giving him her number. He's giving her her number. He got her phone number.
Stop.
He's
Stop.
literally getting her phone number right now.
Guys, come in. We have a 911
She broke out the
on
walkie-talkie.
Upper Lido deck. Stop. Everyone, everybody go to the Upper Lido deck right now. Hold the radio.
So I'm going to.
R.I.P. to their relationship.
Oh my God.
He got caught red-handed on the Lido deck. Man, like, do you believe this video? I thought it was hilarious. And honestly, hearing them like scream, I'm like, damn, I would want to leave and cheat on her too. I'm sorry. I don't care.
My man was hungry. He was thirsty. He was starving. Like, listen, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. She's an attractive young lady, the young woman he was with.
Mm-hmm.
But she clearly was like looking for him on the how do you even find somebody? There were a lot of people at the pool on that deck. And they first saw him when he was at the pool talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And they weren't sure that it was him. They were like, no, there's no way that's him. Like, it's grainy, like the camera you can't see. And then he took this young woman that he picked up and walked up to the upper deck. And poor guy, he literally was on candid camera.
Yeah.
Like, it was just,
bro, like, if you're gonna cheat on your girl on vacation, you got to look out for cameras. Like, you got to be aware. That's like rule number one. I want to see the after video. They didn't post that, but I think that the couple did break up.
Yeah.
We get all the updates on TikTok, but when I watched this, I was like, this might be staged, but there's no way to really know. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of effort to go through to stage something. I mean, I'm sure people are devious. They will find any way to go viral, but I mean, we're trying to do it right now. But I think that this looks real.
Yeah.
This looks real. And I feel bad for her because her friends are just sitting there recording it while it's happening.
Well, maybe she'll find her new man, through the clout that she gained from this. At least she got some clout. Yeah. I'm just curious on how the rest of the cruise went, after this shit.
Yeah. Were they sharing a cabin together? I could not believe that cruises really just share like the CCTV for the whole boat like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just normal. Like they have like a few like random ass TV stations on a cruise, and half of the time they're going in and out. They just replay movies and music videos on the ones that are more stable.
Okay.
Then you have like the one just live feed, and it's just like, you have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anyone get cheated on by that. So hey, maybe that's what it's for. I did think it was hilarious, but yeah, you got to be careful. One woman who may not get cheated on, I'm not sure, because she has 2 vaginas. She said
2 of them.
She said she has one vagina she uses for her husband. The other one is for her OnlyFans. She is, multi-talented.
Yeah.
Her name is Evelyn Miller.
Give her credit.
She was diagnosed with uterus I don't even know how to say this. But she has 2. She was born with 2 uteruses and 2 vaginas. And she said she first discovered it when she first had sex as a young person, and she felt like her boyfriend's like penis was just kept hitting a wall, and then she was like so ashamed and confused she avoided sex. She was living with her dad, so she didn't have anyone she could talk to about this. She wasn't able to Google it because she lived on a remote farm. But now she knows she was blessed with a double vagina. And now the world is blessed with her OnlyFans. She's saying she's making like almost $1,500 a week on this extra vagina.
That's a bag.
Yeah, man. How would you feel if your wife had 2 vaginas, and would you be okay with sharing one of those holes with the world on OnlyFans?
That's a double bag. I mean, listen, from the pictures of what this they call it uterus didelphys.
Didelphys, okay.
Yeah. So here's a picture of what an ordinary looks like. Ordinary uterus looks like on the left, and then on the right you see what she's got going on. Now, just to be clear, it is one insertion point, but when you get in there to a certain depth, it like splits into 2. Like you got the left fork and the right fork.
Okay.
So I guess what they were hitting was whatever in the middle of that, but it just it doesn't. Looking at the picture, it doesn't look like it would feel good.
Okay.
Because I think it limits the depth. You know, the how far, how low can you go? How it like you can't go that deep in there. So for me, it would probably be a no. It does turn out though that she's able to have kids. She has 2 kids now.
Yeah, and she said that when she was pregnant, they had to use a condom because she didn't want to get double pregnant because she has 2 uteruses.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she said she wanted to avoid being double pregnant, so they had to wear a condom during her pregnancies. And also, it was hard for her to give birth. Both of her children were like, in the premature unit for months after she gave birth. So, she's able to have a family, and now she's able to get paid off of her extra vagina. We talked about Kevin Gates' 2 phones. We know 2 chains, but I didn't know about 2 pussies. I didn't know that existed. But shout out to her. I mean, learn something new every day. I think, I feel like I wouldn't be comfortable if I was with a woman and she had an OnlyFans. But if I knew one of those holes were just for me, I might feel a little bit better about it. Like, okay, that one's off limits, guys. This one is our moneymaker, okay? It's all good.
Okay. Well, that's very liberal of you, but no. I don't know.
You like both holes are mine.
All of them. Yeah, but it would just have to feel good. Like I don't want to have to jump through hoops. Like there's enough that you have to deal with. No. I don't need any extra hurdles or anything like that. Plus, like you said, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Like I feel like half the joy of getting your wife pregnant is being able to just dump in her whatever you want. I would assume. Like I'm just listen. If we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna talk about it. Like I'm just saying.
Shame.
I feel like a lot of guys are like, this is the main perk of my wife being pregnant. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Like at least for the next 8 months.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That was weird to me, but it's just science, and at least they're making a positive out of a weird situation. I'm glad she was able to learn about herself.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that there's a guy with 2 dicks out there who's like her perfect match?
I don't know, but that's nasty. That's
nasty. No, come on. How is 2 vaginas not nasty, but 2 dicks is nasty?
Because you can't even see the 2 vaginas. Like that's in there. It's like it's inside of her that it like separates into 2. Gotcha. With 2 penises, it has to be visible. Like is it like that double-sided dildo thing, like where there's just 2 of them right next to each other? You use one for the vagina and then the other one for the ass. Like how does that work? I don't know.
I don't know anything about that personally, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, we already talked about the Pornhub topic with Stormy Daniels. All right.
Yeah, no, it's all relative, guys. We here. It's April. It's springtime.
That's right. Springtime getting sprung. Let's go.
Oh my God, y'all! I got another article that talks about like work wives and work husbands, and millennials say that shit is inappropriate, but Gen Z and baby boomers. They think it's cool. Like I think it was like 57% of millennials in this poll by Newsweek said that it is inappropriate to have a relationship with a work wife or work husband.
Yeah.
Now, baby boomers and Gen Z were around 39 or 40%. So that's a pretty big difference. What do you take from these numbers? Did you learn anything? What do you think? You know, we're millennials. Do you think it's okay to have a work wife and a work husband? Or do you think it's inappropriate?
I think that Gen Zers have not. I don't know. It's surprising to me that millennials would say that it's okay.
They said it's not okay. Millennials were the ones who said they're not okay with it. It was the baby boomers and Gen Z people who.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I misread. So, yeah, that's why I was saying it was surprising to me. So, yeah, I agree with the millennials. It's not okay. Don't play with me. Like if we're in a relationship, I don't ever want to hear, oh, my work husband got me lunch, or my work husband did this job for me. Don't do that, because all the work husband is a guy that's waiting to sleep with you. All a work wife is a girl that's waiting to suck your dick. Like, I'm serious. That's
Keeping
all
it
they
real.
are. That's why you give them that name, because they go out of their way to do things that are outside of their work responsibilities to try to appeal to you and try to get you, on their side. That way they can be waiting in the wings for if something, God forbid, happens in your relationship at home.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We're not stupid.
I gotta agree with you. I do find it inappropriate too. So, as a millennial myself, I fall into that 57%.
Yeah.
I've never had a work wife. I mean, a lot of the times my coworkers have been a lot older than me, honestly. I've been at maybe a couple places where people are around my age, but most of the time it's people a little bit older than me. But also I keep my private life and work life very separated, as a lot of people know, or might not know, but I keep things very separate. So I don't know. I would not feel comfortable if, I was dating someone and they had a work husband. But I do find it interesting that, older people and younger people think, oh, it's okay. Culturally speaking, maybe we're a little bit more conservative than baby boomers, which is surprising to me. I don't know, man. Troy, do you have an opinion on this? Are you surprised by those numbers?
Yeah, I am kind of surprised at the numbers, but I think I fall in the same camp as you guys. I don't think I would really be comfortable with it, because I was one of those work husbands back in the day. So, I know what you're trying to do. I was that guy. So you're not getting me.
Oh, man. So when you were the work husband, did it ever end up in anything or no?
No, but I wanted it to. And this was years ago. This was back in Kmart, back when I was doing promotions before she had. So when I was single, I was like, yeah, work with a lot of attractive women. Trying to see what's up.
Hell yeah. You got to get them perks from Kmart. I've seen some girls who worked at Kmart, and them cargo pants, they can fit kind of tight sometimes.
The khakis.
The khakis. Yes. Them khakis, man. I'm sorry. It may give you some ideas, especially when a young person, I can understand it from that point of view, but if you older, if you married, if you in the office, grow up.
Not only that, don't give nobody a title. Giving somebody a title gives them power.
Word.
And that's a really bad idea. You setting yourself up for a bad situation. If you want to have a friend at work, that's their name. Oh, my friend at work. They don't have any other, not work husband, not work wife, not Jolene, not Nancy, whatever her name is. None of that. That's my friend.
Not even friend. That's your coworker. That's your
you're
coworker.
Right. You're right. You're
Y'all
right.
ain't friends.
Absolutely. We don't have no friends at work. That's my colleague.
What did Drake say? No new friends. But yeah, I did find it weird that, the other generations felt differently, but I guess we'll see. Well, maybe things are changing. I don't know. Maybe we're taking this a little bit too serious, but I'm still uncomfortable with it. I find it inappropriate. So.
Yeah, I mean, in the article, they literally say that this one woman, who they want to call Emily, she ended up getting married to her work husband, and she believes that work spouses could be non-romantic, but in her situation, it didn't happen like that, and that in many work relationships, that individual fills a void that exists in the person's romantic relationship. So clearly there's a deficit and they're trying to fill it with somebody at work.
Yes.
And if you're a woman, you might end up getting filled by somebody at work. Like, it's just not, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not with that either, man. You know, speaking of not being with that, this man was on a flight to Japan. When the mother of a toddler, the toddler was sitting next to him on the plane, the mother of the toddler was sitting behind them. She asked, "Can we switch seats?" He said, "Hell fucking no," and refused to switch seats with the mother of the toddler. You know, he posted on Reddit this situation asking, you know, am I an asshole? You know, the comments, they were split. You know, some people were on his side. Some people were like, oh, you were definitely an asshole. Like, why do you want to sit next to a toddler on a long ass flight? Other people were just like, fuck them kids. And fuck you too. Talking about the mother.
Yeah.
You know, people went off in the comments. I know, you know, we travel pretty frequently. I, you know, love having my window seat, especially if I'm by myself.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to fly next to a toddler. What do you take from this story, man?
Listen, my go-to spot on the airplane is the aisle.
Okay.
Because I have long legs, and definitely my right leg, I want to stretch it out. If I'm sitting on the right side of the plane, my left leg, I want to stretch it out. Whichever leg is going to be able to get to extend pause, then I'm going to do it. So that's how I feel about it. But for this guy, he's sitting at the window seat and the toddler is next to him. The mom sits directly behind the toddler. So she clearly chose her seat, but she wants to be able to move. If you cared that much, you would have paid extra money, or you would have checked in on time, or you would have paid additional money so you could have a seat next to your child. That's my view on it. So for him, I completely agree. No, I'm not moving. I'm not sorry for the inconvenience. I'm not. Like, for what? You did this to yourself. If you didn't have mad chances to choose your seat before this flight, then that'd be one thing. If it's first come, first serve, oh, dang, that sucks. My bad. Like, and then still, I'm probably going to say no. But, but this, no, please get out of my face.
Damn. I mean, I'd feel weird. I would probably switch seats. As long as I'm able to get another window seat, it's fine. But you're going to have to work that out. He said she was with the whole tour group.
Not only that, this is a flight to Japan. This is like a 10-hour flight plus.
Exactly why you shouldn't want to sit next to someone's toddler for that long. Like, come on. I would try to compromise, but I just need my particular same seat. I'm not taking a middle seat for you to sit next to your kid. You're going to have to take the L.
Yeah.
And someone else in the group is going to have to figure it out. But I wouldn't just say no. I would try to work out the situation because it's a lose-lose. Like, either I get a shitty seat or I have to sit next to this crying baby on this long-ass flight. So, to me, like, it just sucks. I do think it is, you know, good to pay the extra to make sure you don't run into this type of problem. And I feel like usually airlines, even if you don't pick your seat, they usually put you together with the person you purchased the seat with. Randomly, even if you get the random selection, but sometimes you don't get it. But yeah, I would try to work it out, but it's tough, man. It's tough. And also,
I'm not moving. She needed it. But the thing is, in the article, he said she didn't even ask anybody else from her group.
Yeah. But that's why I would be like, listen, let's work something out together. I'd be like, okay, well, someone from your group with a window seat, I'll switch with them and we'll work it out. But I'm not just moving for a middle seat. I'm sorry.
Or you can pay me $200.
$200.
You want to sit next to your baby? Give me some money. How much is this baby worth to you?
Oh my God.
Hey.
Oh man, another person. You know, I think they went to Reddit as well, and everyone goes to snitch on themselves on Reddit, but we love it. Reddit and TikTok never stop. Never stop giving us content. But this guy said, you know, he was on a Spirit Airlines flight and he was manspreading. He says, I'm tall and I'm never comfortable on planes. My knees always dig into the seat in front of me.
I can
and can be
sympathize.
quite painful.
Mhm.
He said, you know, he realized like halfway through through the flight, his he invaded his neighbor's space. And the passenger who was next to him called over the flight attendant and asked him to keep his fucking leg in his own fucking seat. He said he felt deep shame after this altercation and instantly retracted his leg. He then claimed he tried to apologize to his seatmate and she refused to speak to him. And she was furiously texting instead of acknowledging him. So, you know, the person on the other side, you know, went to sleep. And she told him she had some extra space he could use. So the other person was helpful. The other person thought he was a total asshole. You know, a lot of people, you know, shamed him on Reddit. They said, this is a known recurring issue. You know, you will feel better with more leg space. Stop pinching pennies and pay for an aisle seat or an exit seat. There are options. Now, this is already Spirit Airlines. It's already bad enough.
It is.
You mentioned this in the last story. You know, pay for. You like the aisle seat, and you said, you know, if you want a specific thing on a plane, pay for it. Where do you stand on this, man?
Listen, well, I can use a close example from when we took that trip in the fall. We were flying around Europe, going to different countries and things like that. There were a couple times where we weren't sitting near each other because I knew that, hey, for this flight, I'm going to need my leg room. I don't feel like dealing with it. I'll pay an extra 30, 50 euros and have more leg space.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just what it is. For this situation, though, she's super petty. Like, I hate in any scenario when someone tries to go above your head rather than talk to you directly first. Whether it's in the workplace when somebody tries to go to your boss or your boss's boss or something like that. Whether it's in a situation like this where it's customer service and they try to go to the flight attendant rather than at least ask you first. Like, it'd be different if this was the second time and she's like, yo, this guy keeps falling asleep and throwing his whole leg in my space. Let me get the flight attendant to roast him. Like, that's completely different than not even having a conversation, completely ignoring him. Like, he tried to apologize. Whether or not he's telling the truth, I don't know, but you got to give the one point of view that you have the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I feel like he is telling the truth because I feel like he said he felt shame.
Yeah.
You know, he said he didn't realize that his leg had been in her space. I will say for me, I like the window seat. I hate aisle seats. I hate people walking past me, bumping into me, rubbing into me. I just want to
I feel that.
Check in, put my head on like the window and just knock out. Like, I don't even like really talking to people next to me. I'll be like, oh, hi. But most of the time I just have my headphones in. I'm in the zone. Yeah. Just I don't want to teleport somewhere else. But I always keep like my shit in my row unless I have an empty seat. Then I'll like spread out a little bit. But you know, I'm not that tall, not as tall as you. Your legs are like super fucking long. I'm 5'10". I fit within like, you know, the seats. I will say there are specific people, like much larger people. When I see them walking down the aisle, I say a prayer. I'm like, please God, please do not come sit next to me.
Do not sit next to me. It's the worst when the big people sit in the middle in the middle row, like or the middle seat. Excuse me. It's like, you didn't know that you was 250 plus. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, there definitely should be like a limit, you know, height and weight limit to certain seats, especially when they're trying to squeeze more people into smaller planes, charge you for everything else, and now I'm going to be uncomfortable.
They violate.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but. I will say, like, I will speak up. I agree with you. Like, if I have a problem with someone, like, taking over my space, I'll say, excuse me. Or maybe I'll just, you know, move my leg and push into them. Whatever. But, you know, calling the flight attendant, I feel like is a little bit extra, but maybe she felt violated. I don't know.
I will say the most annoying thing is almost always, like, the elbow jockeying that happens on the flight. Like one person's in front, then the other person moves, and you try to like slide over and take over the armrest, and then like you slip up, you go to the bathroom, and then come back. They took over the armrest back. Like
it's a whole fight.
That's the most annoying thing, man.
Yeah, but I don't. That's why I like the window seat because I feel like the middle seat person should have both armrests because they don't have anything else. Like at least I'll give them most of the armrests. I'll give that up. I'm fine with taking my armrest and just leaning over. That's my personal preference though. But man, ain't nothing like first class, man. I wish I could fly first class every day.
I know. I've only flown one time. That time I missed my flight when we were in Miami.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I flew first class back, and that shit was great.
Yeah, I only did it one time too when we had a malfunction in Michigan. Everyone else was like complaining. I was like, let me get this free hotel stay and rebook the flight in the morning. They gave me first class. So I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta, you can't complain, guys. It's not going to resolve the problem. Sometimes you just need to take the L, find the best way forward, and just try to get home. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. To the airlines listening, we are out here catching flights, not feelings. If you want to sponsor us, you can have your ad here. Let us know. Even Spirit, American Airlines, Delta, United, Turkish Airways, whatever it might be.
Emirates.
Emirates. We got you. We got you.
All of them.
Yeah,
all
that's
of them,
right.
Man. Yeah, we going on tour sometime.
That's right.
We got we're gonna be hitting the streets. We got the
Bluetooth.
We got the Bluetooth now.
Yes.
So you guys can call in to us. We're gonna have people call in at some point. Make this. I know people had missed the interactive part of the comments. We still got Troy. Present in the comment section, but we'll add another layer to actually have audio calls, and then also we're gonna be on the streets, man.
Yeah, we are hitting the streets.
Yeah, this summer shit is heating up. We're gonna be out here talking to you guys, getting your opinions on all these hot ass topics that we discuss every week. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. We burned through a lot of topics, man.
Yeah, we had 2 hours. I think we're good. I mean, I don't think anything else.
Yeah, I'm good on the last couple.
But man, this is great, man. I feel like we're hitting our stride. Don't forget to subscribe. The podcast will be on Spotify on Friday.
That's right. Spotify, Google Podcasts, on all streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcasts, your live streams, your videos, we are there for all content over everything. We with you.
Hell yeah, man. This is a great show. Definitely triggered me with overlooking Kendrick, but it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Listen. We've all got our palettes, but I think this was really fun. We're gonna be back with you again next week. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know about some of these different topics. I mean, we covered so much. Angel Reese, Trump, Stormy Daniels, Drake, Drizzy, UFC, WWE. It's just the hits keep coming.
They won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, man.
No doubt.
We here all 2023. We're going to keep getting better. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. You got any last words, bro?
Listen, it's getting nice outside. It's almost the NBA playoffs. You see, I got my Lakers gear on.
Yeah, no Blazers gear because
Unfortunately, the Blazers are out, so I had to find somebody that I'm going to root for. I got my Ja Morant jersey at home.
Okay.
I got my Lakers. Kobe representing for LeBron right now. So I'll have a few West Coast teams. But
okay.
I'm ready. I'm looking forward to the Knicks though.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to New York. I really hope they win a playoff series. It's been a decade since 2013, so it's been a long time.
Melo, the OG Melo.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to the spring, the summer.
You gonna go to a game or no?
Probably not, sure. Man. This shit's gonna be through the roof. The prices are crazy. I mean, it's hard enough to go to the Knicks without spending over $200 on the regular.
The Skybridge wasn't bad. Like, it's really not.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Even for the concert that we went to, like, it was solid. And that viewpoint, it would definitely be really good for a game.
I think so too. And also, it's easy to get to the bar and to get to the bathroom, which is especially for a concert. It's dope.
Yeah, which are key.
Yeah.
Metro King.
So yeah, I love MSG. I would love to get out there for the playoffs. Never say never.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, shit is expensive. I am going to see Daniel Caesar next week. So that's going to be dope. Daniel Caesar is releasing his third studio album this Friday. Never Enough. Every single he's released so far has been absolute fire. So I'm really excited.
The return of Daniel Caesar after he was messing with Yes Jules.
Yeah, he did jump out the window to defend her, but hey, it's all good, man. He just, he's a lover boy, and he's also an Aries like me.
Yeah.
And it's been great to see his development as an artist. So I'll definitely, by the time we're back next week, I will have an album review, and also I will have seen the album perform live. So hey, we're spoiled up here.
Let him know.
We got the city. You can't see the city right now because it's foggy.
Yeah.
But we here.
That's right. We'll catch you soon. Be easy and stay safe out there.
Hell yeah. Subscribe, like, follow. We're back next week. Thank you. Peace.